guys, welcome back. How are you? You alright? Hope everybody's well. So here we go again, Ask Snes, week 17. Yeah, I'm doing well with this, ain't I? So how's things? Hope you're all doing well and life's treating you well and it's all good. Not too bad here, decent week, pretty quiet. Bit cold at the moment, weather's dropping a little bit, it's a bit up and down, you know, bit cold, bit warm, bit cold. Yeah, but no, it's all good. Not too bad at the moment anyway. So let's crack on because we've got a lot of questions this week, a hell of a lot. So first couple of questions are from Natasha3185, so thank you for the questions. And question number 1. I know you aren't a fan of digital content. If, when consoles go digital, would you pay a premium for hard copies of the games, i.e. if the console manufacturers produced a CD drive as a peripheral and charged more for the game as a physical disc? That is a really, really good question actually. You think about it, that makes a lot of sense. Because I suppose it's like resurgence of anything like physical. Like say vinyl, for instance, because vinyl's on a resurgence at the moment, you're going to get a lot of new albums coming out on vinyl as well. People will be making record players, you know, if there's a market for it, they'll make it. So if consoles do go digital, completely, fully digital in the future, which is a good possibility of the next generation after PS4 and Xbox One, I would assume, then if there are still lots of people like me who want physical media and really do not want to accept digital, it will either do one of two things. Either it will convince them to do what CD and film do, where you have both options, or they will just go fully digital. But because there's still a reasonable amount of people that want physical media, they may do that and put an accessory, which will obviously make them more money because you've got to buy the accessory to add on to it, which is a good idea. In terms of paying more for the physical copy than the digital copy, I don't have a problem with that because I would do that now, and I think that's the way it should be anyway. I think digital copies are completely overpriced. But you see games on digital for like £50, that's just taking the piss really, it's ridiculous. Especially when you can wait a month and get a physical copy for 25–30 quid. Why the hell would you pay 50 quid for a digital? Even if you bought it on day one, you're paying £40 for a hard copy and like 45–50 for a digital. It makes no sense. You don't have to manufacture the games and the discs and the manuals. Not manuals because they don't make them anymore. The slip of paper. You don't have to ship them out to stores. You know, it's just. I'm assuming they have to pay the stores to sell the games as well, like you know, to promote their items. So all of that money is saved. So there's no reason for a digital copy to cost as much as they do. And until they understand that, they're never going to make much progress. It's crap. But yeah. Personally, yes, I don't mind if whichever way it goes in the future. If there was an option to play physical media, I would buy the accessory, add it on, pay the extra for the hard copy. It wouldn't bother me at all. I'd be quite happy to do that. I'd rather have the option in the next coming generation than say the next, I don't know, anywhere between 5 and 10 years, depending on how long it goes for. Because this last generation lasted nearly 10 years, didn't it? Yeah, 9. Well, it was last year when it was 8 years. So if we're looking at that for the PS4 and Xbox One, then yeah, go for it. Give us the option. That's all I want is the option. Because I know I'm not alone in wanting physical media and not wanting to go fully digital. So yeah, great question. I really like that. It's a good spin on it. Second question. What is the most useless, in your opinion, peripheral release for any system? This can be third or first party. Now, I did see this question about a week ago when it was posted. It was a week, wasn't it? I think it was, yeah. Yeah, about 5 days ago. And it just got me stumped. I couldn't think. I've been trying to think about it all week to try and come up with a good answer. And I've got to be honest, peripheral-wise, I don't know much about third-party. I tend to just generally look at first-party peripherals. And I thought about all of the consoles that have been released and all the peripherals. And none of them, to me, were actually useless. They all served a good purpose and they were great at the time. What I would say in 2014, the most useless peripheral would be the Game Gear TV tuner. Just because in the UK we don't have an analogue signal anymore at all. Well, I think most places have been switched off. I'm not entirely sure if it's completely switched off in all areas. I'm pretty sure it is, but I'm not going to commit to that because someone will correct me. But we've gone digital. So if you've got Freeview or you've got satellite, you know, FreeSat Sky, whatever, it's all digital content. There's no analogue signal anymore. As far as I'm aware, you can't use the aerial in the UK. So the TV tuner is completely useless. It's a good peripheral. When it came out, it was, but in terms of actual usage, it's of no use whatsoever now. So yeah, I'll go with that one. So thanks, Natasha. Brilliant questions. Okay, then what we got next? Right, next question is from Guy in the Hat Games. Hello, mate. Question is, Capcom has been in a difficult financial situation over the past year or two, and rumours suggest they could be bought out by another company. What's your thoughts on why Capcom is having such a hard time lately, and who do you think would be the best games company to buy them out? I've said before the best games company would be Nintendo. I think it would be a massive win for Nintendo to own Capcom, just because of all the great Capcom franchises they could bring to the Wii U exclusively. Just the Resident Evil franchise alone would be a good thing. In terms of their financial issues, I don't know the ins and outs of what's happened there, so I can only speculate. I don't know what's happened. I assume that maybe that the consumer, the gamer, has lost confidence in Capcom. I know because there was a whole issue with the Mega Man games that were getting released and canned, and because they got cancelled, it pissed off a lot of people, which I totally understand. The Resident Evil series has really gone downhill and has completely lost sight of what Resident Evil is. So those are two massive franchises that they're really not doing too well with, and I think that could be part of the reason that maybe a lot of people are just like with EA, they're kind of boycotting Capcom a little bit and just saying, you know what, if you're going to be like that, I'm not buying your games. And that could be affecting their financial status. I mean, that's the only thing I can really put it down to. I would assume anyway. Because I mean, those two franchises are huge, you know, and they're like cash cows for the company really. They should be making the most out of them. But, you know, what can I say? But yeah, I would hopefully, if anyone's going to buy them, Nintendo should buy them. As I've said before, as far as I understand, the law in Japan is that only a Japanese company could do it anyway. So that outlaws Microsoft. It's only Sony and Nintendo, and any other game developer really, I suppose, that's in Japan. I would just think Nintendo would have a massive advantage if they did that, because you know, Nintendo's a great company, and they, you know, for all their mistakes that they make, or at least are perceived to be made, they are a really clever, intelligent company. The only issue they got nowadays is branding more than anything. The branding's terrible, but you know, new 3DS, I mean, come on. I'm not slagging it off. I actually like a new 3DS. I think it's really cool. I just think the name is really crap. It just showed no effort whatsoever. Just sat in the room and went, new 3DS? Yeah, that'll do. I mean, it's just pathetic. Come up with a proper name. That's another tangent anyway. But yeah, mate, great question. So that's what I think anyway. Right. Next questions are from Muzz247365. I know Muzz. I hope I'm pronouncing that right, you know, because I say that every week, so I don't know. First question. Did you read fighting fantasy books growing up, or mess around with Dungeons and Dragons? I don't know what fighting fantasy is. I know what Dungeons and Dragons is, so I'm assuming they're the same sort of thing. No, I haven't, mate. I've never looked into them, to be honest with you. Yeah, there's not much I can really say about that, unfortunately. Any favourite books and authors? With books, it's not so much authors because I don't read fiction. I only read factual books. So I read like biographies, or, well, the books I've got over there are mostly biographies, like political biographies, Barack Obama, George Bush, and Tony Blair. I've got other books about war, Al Qaeda, Afghanistan. Really cheery stuff to read, I know. I've got a book on Vietnam which is absolutely fantastic. It's massive and really good. I've got another one which I can't remember the name of, but it was a World War II book about the relationship between Joseph Stalin, Churchill and Roosevelt, which is absolutely fantastic book to read, really good. It's a lengthy book, but it was really good, yeah. So I haven't really got any favourite authors. I just, you know, if it looks interesting and it's about a subject I'm interested in, I'll read it. I just cannot get into fiction. It's weird. I don't know why. Anything else, I love fiction, but when it comes to books, I find it impossible to connect. The last question is, do you go out on your bike every day? I do indeed. I can't at the moment. There's a lot of work going on down in my town, a lot of road works and things, so it's becoming a bit impossible to get around at the moment. So for the last 2 weeks, I've not been out, and it's probably going to be another week yet, unfortunately. But yeah, I generally go out every day, 7 days a week. I did at first start going out 5 days a week. And then I just found that if I left it for the weekend, that my fitness would drop and my legs would hurt like hell on the Monday. So I just decided, you know what, screw it, I'll just go out every day. And that way it makes it a lot easier, and I never feel too knackered when I'm doing it. So yeah. Thank you for the questions. Next question from Chris Pacey, or Passy. Hopefully one of those is right. First question. Do you have a favourite video game manual instruction booklet? Good question. Can be from any era of gaming, and it could just be something that stood out from the rest. I don't have one that I can think of off the top of my head. I mean, there are a few good ones, like the Street Fighter manuals are always really good. I like manuals where they've got a lot of colour and a lot of detail, and they explain the game, and you know, like they've got a little bit of a backstory and they explain the. I like the Street Fighter ones. They have like the characters and all the information like blood type and weight and all that kind of thing. And yeah, it's probably not that important, but I just kind of like the extra detail that they go to. So yeah, I'd probably go with the Street Fighter ones. Okay, question number 2. You have total freedom to create an entirely new action-adventure video game franchise with gameplay similar to The Last of Us. The only condition is that all of the characters must be YouTubers from the community. Oh Christ. What sort of landscape, setting, era and storyline would you choose, and off the top of your head, who would be assigned particular roles, protagonist, villain, generic enemies? Holy shit, dude. Right, so I'm going to pick Plutonic 78, obviously, Labosu 77, Retro Dave Nintendo, Cyber Snake 7. Trying to think, how many people do I want? Right, we'll go with those guys first, because that's the easy part. So we'll have, who's going to play the villain? I think it's got to be Jay, and it's Cyber Snake. You make a good villain. Yeah, definitely. When he's just stroking his beard, it's looking cool, yeah. So yeah, maybe a little cat, you know. Right, protagonist, probably be Alex Plutonic. I think he'd make a good protagonist. Although he's got a pretty laid-back way of life, the same as me, so I don't know if he could be asked. But yeah, maybe I would go with Alex. I would then, yeah. Oh, that's really hard. I think Owen, the Bossu, he could be like a henchman for Jay. That'd make quite an interesting combo. Probably throw Daz in there and all the Cajones de Laura, we'll get it right in a minute. And in the, for other enemies, you could have like the 16-bit brothers. You could have Ninja Bear Hug in there. Although Ninja Bear Hug's even more chilled out, so I don't know. Yeah, this is going to be interesting, this one. It's bloody hell. Landscape and setting, era and storyline. It's so hard off the top of your head. We don't want to go post-apocalyptic because that's been done to death. Maybe Civil War. I don't really see many. Yeah, that never really gets done, does it? I like my war games, so maybe set it in the Civil War. So I don't, was that 1700s or the 1800s? I can never bloody remember. Or it might have been the 1600s, and I'm completely miles out. I do apologise for my history. Yeah, and the storyline would obviously be like the fighting between the North and the South, but you're going to be away from that. I'd say like Jay's like in the South. Jay's like this evil Southern general, and then you've got, I'd probably say, yeah, you have like Ninja Bear Hug, 16-bit brothers, Cajones de Lauro. They'd be on the North side, along with Alex, backing him up. So it'd be like a team squad-based game. I think would probably be the best way to do it. That'd be quite interesting. So Alex can command his squad and call them in whenever he needs them to do different jobs. I like games like, I like Freedom Fighters where everyone's got a purpose. Yeah, that's actually pretty good. I like that. Storyline. It's basically going to be your standard thing where you're going to be like a secret covert division working for the North, and you've got to take down the Southern General played by Jay, and obviously you've got Owen as his sidekick as well. He's always coming up with weird and fantastical inventions and ways to try and kill you. It'd be like a third-person game, cover shooter, because I do like the cover shooters. I think that'd be really cool. But you've got like muskets and bows and arrows and shit. They probably don't have bows and arrows in the Civil War, but I'm going to throw them in there just for a bit of variety. Yeah, a Civil War third-person cover shooter. I think that'd be pretty damn cool. Yeah, that's the best I can come up with off the top of my head anyway, so I hope that's alright. Right, next set of questions from my good mate Stu, Skunkworks, who's given me 20 questions this week, so get comfortable. Bloody hell. Alright, let's have a look. Right, this is because he keeps forgetting to leave questions, so this is making up for the time. Alright. Question number 1. What do you think about Project Morpheus, the VR project from Sony? VR has been around since I was a kid watching Tomorrow's World in the 80s. Great show. And it's still not a consumer product. It does finally now seem to be around the corner. Will you be jumping into the virtual reality world? I want to say yes, and I absolutely love Morpheus. I think it's got a lot of potential. The same as Oculus Rift. I really love VR. I thought VR was fantastic in the 80s. and I was gutted he never took off. The only problem I have with Morpheus, because Oculus, as far as I'm aware, is going to be more PC based, and obviously Morpheus is for PlayStation, so if they're successful, I would assume Microsoft will jump on the bandwagon. The only caveat I've got with Morpheus that will stop me jumping on board straight away at day one, which I really want to do, but the only thing that worries me is Sony's reputation with peripherals. You look at the PlayStation Move, which I absolutely adore the PlayStation Move. I actually think it's really, really good, and it's criminally underused, and they really haven't bothered with it much at all. The same as the Vita. They bring these things out and they just don't really push them, and they just expect them to work for word of mouth. And that's what worries me about Morpheus. Are they just going to get it out there? If it doesn't sell a ton in the first week or the first month, are they just going to start slowly forgetting about it and just putting out the odd game here and there? So I'm going to wait and see. I'm hoping that it's successful. I hope that it comes out and they sell like 1 million in the first week, or even the first 24 hours, and people go crazy for VR. They come out at E3 before it's released. They do an amazing conference. They really push VR and show you all the possibilities in the games that come out, and it gets mass media appeal, and everybody's like, holy shit, VR's back. That would be awesome. I think it's unrealistic, and I think Sony won't push it as hard as they should do, but I would like to see it be successful. So yeah, I'm going to give it a few months when it comes out, see how it goes, see what people think on YouTube as well, because obviously you'll get all the professional reviews, but I'd like to see people on YouTube give their opinion. It's a lot better that way. Excellent question, Stu. Question number 2. Chess is the greatest board game ever devised by a man. Can you play it? No. I've never even attempted. I'll tell a lie. I think I've tried once, but chess is a complicated game. It's one of them that you really need to learn, and you never really learn it. As far as I'm aware, you get better every time over the years. You adjust your strategy. So I would love someone to sit me down and just teach me the basics. My dad did try when I was younger, but I just didn't get it. But yeah, I would like to learn chess because I think that'd be quite a good game to play. Number 3, favourite NeoGeo AES game? I don't know, because I've hardly played any. I've only played a handful, Stu, so I ain't got a clue, mate. If I was going to pick one at the moment, it would be Art of Fighting 3, just because I love it on the main. I think it's just fantastic. 1 and 2, 1 was a bit crap, didn't like that. Number 2 was alright. Number 3 for me is absolutely awesome. If I ever own an AES, which is highly unlikely, I owned one back in the early 2000s and I sold it like a dick. Story of my life. But if I ever own one again, that is a game I'd like. Unfortunately, on the AES, it's bloody expensive like most of the games, so maybe not. I could always get a NeoGeo CD, and I've always considered that, but if I'm really truthful, I want an AES. You know, it's just the cartridges, man, they're awesome. It's just so expensive. Question number 4. Okay, where's this going? Councillor Troy and Dr. Crusher. Right. I'm not, they put in brackets Star Trek Next Generation like I wouldn't know. Okay. Who would you most like to introduce to your captain's log? Fuck. Thanks, Joe. It's got to be Deanna Troy, isn't it, obviously? I mean, you ain't going to go with Crusher. Crusher's alright and everything, but Troy is fit. And she still is, actually, now. She's aged really well. Her accent's a bit weird. Hearing her having a proper Cockney accent don't make a lot of sense. Sorry, London accent, because someone will say she ain't a Cockney, but probably Owen will tell me she's not a Cockney. Question number 5. When are you going to step up to the challenge of finding all 96 exits in Mario World? It's a task all Super Nintendo owners must complete at least once. I have considered it, and I do need to do that, because I've got loads that I need to unlock. It's just finding the bloody things, I don't know where they are. But yeah, I will do. I will sit, because I know Retro Dave was doing that a couple of months back. He was sitting down every night and just playing through it to do it. So yeah, I accept the challenge, Stu. I'll get that done. Next question. Pinocchio's nose grows when he tells a lie, but what happens when Pinocchio says, my nose will grow now? What? Hang on, Pinocchio's nose grows when he tells a lie, but what happens when Pinocchio says, my nose will grow now? You stumped me, hang on. So are you saying if he says that it's not a lie? I'm confused. Maybe my brain's just not working this morning. I'm not sure, mate. Yeah, I don't know. That's just stopped me completely. I'll think about that. Have you ever played Kirby's Epic Yarn? I can't say it. Or are you just a fan of the standee? Yeah, I just like the standee, it looks cool. No, I have actually got it. I bought it a couple of months back and it's still sealed it's back there somewhere. So I need to play it. I haven't got my Wii set up at the moment, so yeah, I need to get my Wii back set up again. I had it set up a couple of months back playing Mario Galaxy 2, but it's just getting too cluttered, so I had to just put it away for a bit. But yeah, I intend to play it because I really want to. But yeah, the standee's badass, isn't it? I mean, look at that. It's just cool. Next question. When I was a kid, people were getting stung by bees and wasps, left, right and centre. These days it hardly ever happens. Okay. Is this yet another example of political correctness gone mad? That or it's climate change. All the bees and wasps have just given up. It's too hot. It is weird actually that, you know, I think about it, 'cause back when I was a kid in the 80s, yeah, you did get stung quite a lot. I don't really see many bees and wasps now. Like this summer I've only seen like probably 2 or 3, which is a bit odd. You get loads of bloody flies in it. Question number 9. If you could never use Ryu or Ken in Street Fighter 2 again, notice to say Ryu and not Wayu. I'm learning. Who would you pick as your main character? Chun-Li. I like Chun-Li. She's probably the only one other than Ryu and Ken I can actually play really well with. I like the character. I find it hard to play with them. I've tried to adapt and try different characters, but Ryu's the man. Always will be. Chun-Li's the second best character. Ken's a pussy. I don't like Ken. For me, Ken is the easy option. Ken's like for like beginners, people who don't really know how to play Street Fighter, and they can pull off a couple of moves. Ryu takes a bit of technical skill. Question number 10. Okay, here we go, we're getting serious. Scotland votes soon on whether or not to become independent from the rest of the UK. Which way would you vote if you had one? I would vote no. Reason being, there's too many advantages to staying with the UK than there is to separate away. And I don't understand why people would want to separate away. It seems a bit... I know like there's the whole thing about London having too much control over Scotland and all these cobblers. And Alex Salmon being a bit of a dick. But at the end of the day, I think we're all on the same island. You know, England, Scotland and Wales, we're all on the same bit of land. Just chill out, man. You know, we should all just get along and be friends. It's ridiculous to me. I don't think people should vote to be separate. If they want to, great. And if they do, England should get a vote as well. Screw it, because it seems that Wales want to be separate, Scotland want to be separate, so why won't we just be separate? But ideally, we'd all just grow up and admit that we all live on the same piece of rock. So just chill out a bit. Next question. Which of the Super Nintendo games in your collection has the most emotional value to you? Street Fighter 2. Turbo. Yeah. Street Fighter 2 Turbo and Mario World, those two. Fantastic title. So nostalgic and just, yeah, it's definitely emotional. I just love those games. To me, it's absolutely fantastic. And they just remind me of my young days. Yeah. That was cool. Probably Castlevania 4 as well, actually, think about it. Because, man, that game is awesome. Finally finished it the other day and it's just epic. Absolutely love it to bits. A few months back I was going through my VHS tapes with like music videos, and I'd taped over some footage where I'd recorded Super Nintendo games back when I was young, back in the 90s, and there's like a little like 5-second clip of Castlevania 4 that I'd recorded. I was like, oh man, I wish I still had my Street Fighter footage, because I remember completing Street Fighter 2 for the first time without using the credit, and I recorded the whole thing. I was so chuffed. Next question, number 12. You see a woman you really like walking towards you in the street. Oh god. As you get alongside each other, you both stop for a chat. That's unlikely, but yeah, okay. You're keen to talk to her, but you notice at the exact moment that you've just stood in the big pile of dog shit. Right, okay. Keen to avoid an embarrassing situation, you decide you can't stop and talk. How do you cut the chat short without her thinking you're not interested? Just make an excuse up and say, you know, I'm really sorry, but I'm actually on the way to somewhere. I've got a meeting or a job interview or something like that. Just make it. Would you like to catch up later on? Can I get your number? And just swap numbers. I think that would be the easiest way. Just smooth it out and just, you know, get out of there quick. What do you have when you go to the chippy? I haven't been to chippy for years, mate. Usually cod and chips, because you can't beat cod and chips. Or if I'm severely drunk, massive kebab with like all the salads and all the sauces. You know, chili, mayonnaise, mint sauce, whatever they've got, whack it on. Although it's never advisable, because when you've had lots of beer, they tend to take the piss with the chili sauce and it nukes you. And they also, for some reason, they put like a ton of salad, and you've got to fight through the salad to get some meat. I also like kebab meat and chips. It's just amazing. Curry sauce on top, sorted. And I like a battered sausage and all. Absolutely awesome. And pickled eggs. Yeah, all quality stuff. Right, okay. Next question, number 14. My favourite season is winter. I love Christmas and my birthday is also in winter. What is your favourite season? Same, mate, winter. I love winter. I've always liked winter. I like rain, I like cold, I like snow, I like darkness. It's a bit weird, but I just don't know. There's something really nice about winter. There's an emotional feeling, a connection that you get with it, and it's really cosy. And it's nice when it's really cold outside and you snuggle up in your house. You've got the heating on. You're looking out the window and it's just Christmassy, and I don't know. I just always enjoy winter. I like it when it pisses down with rain, and it's like really heavy rain bashing off the window, and it's really dark clouds and there's thunderstorms, and you can watch a movie, and it's just, the atmosphere is awesome. Summer's cool and everything, but it just gets on my tits after all the heat. Very British, I know, but yeah, winter's definitely the best one. Okay, number 15. The two genres of games that I think may have been perfected, and I will never play a better example of in my lifetime, are 2D platformer Mario World and 2D one-on-one fighter Street Fighter 2 Turbo. Which genres do you think have a game that will be very difficult to improve on? I would say the first-person shooter and the third-person cover shooter at the moment, because they've pretty much been now. I mean, first-person shooter is perfected. There is, I mean, especially like Call of Duty. I mean, it's just so pinpoint accurate, and just there isn't a lot more you can really do with a first-person shooter in terms of its controls and general gameplay. Same with a third-person cover shooter. You play something like Last of Us, which isn't really a third-person cover shooter. It sort of is and isn't. I suppose its core is. And Uncharted as well. Okay, Uncharted, you could maybe tweak the gunplay a little bit, make it a little tighter, but I kind of like the way it is. It's a bit floaty. So yeah, I'd probably go with those two, Stu. The next question. Apparently the way you tell the difference between a biscuit and a cake, okay, is that a cake goes hard when it's stale and a biscuit goes soft. I couldn't think of a way of making this into a question, but it's handy to know. Fair enough, thanks for the facts. One of the reasons Mortal Kombat will forever be a poor man's Street Fighter is that you have to press a button to block. This is a deal breaker for me on a fighting game. What things immediately put you off playing certain types of games? It's a really good point, because you just hold back. Yeah, pressing a button to block doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Right, what things immediately put me off playing certain types of games? Things that annoy me more is when you've got like a first person shooter and people change the controls around for no reason. Like you've got standard controls like clicking the stick to run, and they'll just pick a random button to make you run, which is just doesn't make any sense at all. That annoys the hell out of me. Changing the reload button as well, that pisses me off. Reload is square, or what is it on bloody Xbox? We've got B and A on the bottom, BX, wasn't it? I think it's X. Yeah, X and Y, B and A. I think that's what. Yeah, yeah. But that's just like, just keep it, because that way you don't have to keep reloading every time you play a game, because that really winds me up proper. Right, okay. Now you've got lost, are we? Okay. Right, the woman who you like from question 12, right, okay, followed you after you talked your way out of stopping for a chat earlier, and you decided to hide from her as you go around the corner. The only place you can see is a wheelie bin, but she just spots you closing the top. Why would I not hide around the side of it? Alright. She approaches the wheelie bin, bangs on the side, shouting, "Pete, I know you're in there." You hear a panic, you blurt out the first thing that pops into your head, which is the fact about cakes going hard when they're stale and biscuits going soft. She seems confused. You are now inside a wheelie bin with a shoe covered in dog shit, talking about how to tell the difference between a cake and a biscuit, while a woman you really like stands next to it. Keen to avoid an embarrassing situation, you talk your way out of it. How do you do so without her thinking you're not interested? I've got no idea. How the hell would you talk your way out of that one? I don't know, Stu, to be honest, mate. You can't exactly say, "Oh, like I forgot my medication." That wouldn't help. Put her right off. Or you can say you've had some really sad news that day and you're just not yourself and you're losing. Yeah, try and get a bit of sympathy. Maybe that might work. I don't know. Or do you still look like a mentalist? Maybe. I really don't know, mate. I'm not very good at that kind of thing, to be honest with you. Okay, which games are improved by playing them drunk with friends? Burnout 3. That's a real fun one. Any first-person shooter multiplayer game, like local multiplayer. As I said before, my favourite one was Medal of Honor. What's it called? Rising Sun. Where you get the one-shot pistol. That's just such a laugh when you're trying to play local multiplayer and you're completely pissed out your face. It's just awesome. Yeah, I'll go with those. And we recently spoke on Twitter about your opinion of The Last of Us being very different now to what it was when you put an impressions video up shortly after your first playthrough. What are your thoughts on the game now? Yeah, I'm actually going to be talking about that in an upcoming video as it happens. So I would say wait for that video. But yeah, my impressions have changed rapidly. The game is just phenomenal, and I'd give credit to my original video because it was raw and just exactly how I felt after completing the game. Over time, the game has definitely sat with me more, and the story has sat with me more. The gameplay, I did recently did my second playthrough, totally changed my opinion on the game. So look out for an upcoming video which will, give you more of an in-depth answer to that. So thanks for the questions, Stu. All right, next one's, let's have a look. Okay, next question is from Owen, good mate, Lebossu77. Okay, first question, have you ever walked out of the cinema? No. Generally, I only go to films that I actually know I'm going to either really enjoy or possibly enjoy. It's something that I'm interested in. I don't go and see films that I don't like. The only time I've ever seen a film where I didn't know what it was, and I can't remember what it was called, it was crap. It was some independent bullshit with Brenda Blethyn, which says it all really. She does my editing, she does. It was her and some other woman whose name I can't remember. And it was a whole, like, typical up north, depressing, bloody British film. And it was just, it was terrible. It was when she finds out she's got a black daughter, I don't know if she's adopted out or something. It was just bollocks. I managed to get through it, but it was terrible. Okay, what was the last film you watched that surprised you, positive or negative, either way? The Edge of Tomorrow with Tom Cruise. I saw the trailer and I thought it looked okay, and I thought, yeah, I'll watch that. I went to the cinema and it was completely different to what the trailer showed. It looked like a Groundhog Day movie on the trailer, but when you watch the film, it's nothing like that at all. It's so much better. I mean, it's an absolutely fantastic film. Definitely recommend people watching that if they haven't. Edge of Tomorrow is superb. Comes out on Blu-ray next month as well, so definitely worth a pick up. Okay, guys, I'm just going to change the battery and then I'll get back on with it. What the fuck was that? Okay, start again. Okay, guys, here we go. So back on the questions. Next question is from Crash Test Rich. Hello, Rich. And first question, is he got one question or more? Okay. Yep, okay, first question. Most packages of... hang on. Okay. Okay. How many packets of crisps, Pringles, Doritos eaten in one day? I don't eat, like, stacks. The only time I eat, like, several, maybe 2 packets or something, would be like if E3's on or something where I've got an event to watch. I don't stuff my face. Normally with Doritos I buy the big bag anyway, so I don't buy the little crap ones. Right, he's eating 10 in a day. Jesus Christ, Rich, you must have been suffering. Next question, Ellie from Last of Us or Jodie/Ellen Page from Beyond Two Souls? Now, I'm assuming I know what you mean by that. Well, you could just mean which character do I prefer, but I'm not too sure. If you're saying what I think you're saying, it definitely isn't Ellie because she's 14, so that's wrong. And she's more like a daughter than a bloody... Yeah. So it would have to be Jodie Ellen Page because Ellen Page is fit. In terms of character, definitely going to be Ellie because Ellie's a far more fleshed out, interesting character, and you have a much more of a bond with her than you do with Jodie. I could have been reading something into it that wasn't there, but I don't know. I know what you're like, Rich, so yeah. Next question from Scribble Sam Animation, who asks, what was the name of the song in the beginning of the episode last week, 16? I actually have no idea, mate. I'll have to have a look and find out what it's called, and I'll let you know, because it was off the free music archive, so I get all this Creative Commons music, so I can just use that on the video and not get penalised for it. So I'll have to find out what it's called. Question number 2, do you like Daft Punk, and if so, what is your favourite song of theirs? I'm not really a fan. I've heard like the odd song here and there. I wouldn't know what they were, but like on the radio and things. I think my mate was a fan of theirs. Yeah, I like their songs. They're alright. They're pretty good. Also, do you think they should take their helmets off, or do you think they're better the way they are? Leave them on. Mystique. It's always a good thing when you're a musician. It gives you the anonymity to be able to do what you want in your own personal life and not be hassled. And it also gives you the mystique of, for the fans not knowing who exactly you are. I think that's a good thing. Okay, so thank you for the questions. Next question from 16-bit Jay. Hello, Jay. Jay asks, I know you admire many things about American culture, and in certain ways we are similar. But is there anything you would want England or Britain to adopt from American culture, and anything you'd rather we didn't? For me, it would be how patriotic they are, as I feel England isn't very patriotic. I absolutely agree. That's exactly what I would like as well. It's interesting because, me personally, I've never been that patriotic as an Englishman. As a British guy, whatever you want to call me, I don't know. I never like the term Englishman, it all sounds a bit off. And that's probably because of the way this country is with bloody political correctness and stuff, and certain things don't sound right. But yeah, I've always found that, to me, it's just a bit of land. I was just lucky to be born here. You know, of all the countries in the world I could have been born in, I was born in one of the safest, you know, out of all of them, and one of the most chilled out countries. But it would be nice. I look at Americans and I like the fact that Americans are proud of their country and their heritage, and not so much the heritage because you did steal the land, but but the fact that they have flags hanging out outside the houses and they're like, you know, I'm an American and it means something. You don't see English people going, I'm English, because the only people that do that are usually racist. You know, you don't really get like your average English bloke being like really proud of being English, because it always, unfortunately, at least in my eyes, it always comes across as something quite negative, and maybe that's the way that TV shows and the media and that have all shown it to be in this country, just the way it comes across to me. But yeah, it's a shame. I'd really like our country to be a lot more patriotic and for people to care more about politics. I don't mean like do what, you know, like Ben does, Shenmue, and be completely fully invested and go protesting and shit like that. That's admirable. That's awesome. But just for people to actually know who the main three political parties are, have a general, I mean, I don't know the ins and outs, but I know a general understanding of what each party, you know, stands for and has to offer, and what you're going to get from each party. So people should know that, and just have a general knowledge of what's going on around the world, and just, you know, don't get too involved because it'll just depress the shit out of you, because the world's a shitty place. But, you know, just be aware, don't dig your head in the sand, and, you know, concentrate on reality TV and all the other shit they're trying to do to dumb you down and to, you know, keep you distracted from the reality of the world. Even though the reality of the world is absolutely crap, and sometimes I think bollocks to it. Do we really need to know? We might as well just, you know, get your own little bit of land, enjoy your life and live it out until you die, because quite frankly this world's turning to shit every day and it ain't getting any better. That's a cheerful note to end it. Yeah, other than that, what was the other part? Was yeah, anything we shouldn't inherit. Not really, because we have inherited good and bad at the moment. We've inherited everything from America. We are becoming a little America in this country. The negative thing is guns. You know, always going to be guns, because our culture is not a gun culture. You know, it's not something that we're comfortable with, and you know, we have issues with gang violence now, which you could say is an American thing, but it's sort of global, really. It's not something that's a good thing, and it's something we really don't need in this country. And it's worse in this country because it's such a small country as well. I suppose it's compacted a little bit. But yeah, guns are scary, man. That's some scary shit. You know, when you've got a culture like America where it's just normal, you know, they don't think nothing of it. But as an Englishman, it scares the shit. I've got to stop saying that. As a British person, it scares the shit out of me. I like guns. I think guns are cool in terms of films and things, and you know, any kind of entertainment. And there's always that kind of like being a bloke. You know, it's just cowboys and Indians, cops and robbers, all that kind of thing when you was a kid. But the reality of guns, that we don't need guns in the world. We do not need them at all. I'll probably get a load of right-wingers having a go at me now, but hey, I don't. I think guns have no place on earth, because all they're for is killing, and that's all they're for. It's just not good. I'm not a pacifist or anything, I just want people to be nice to each other. Right, so cheers Jay, thanks for the questions, mate. Okay, Next set of questions are from Julian Hill. Hello Julian, a really good bloke. And Julian's first question. I've just written about desirable damage for the Retro Collect site. It's the idea that collectors want to see a bit of wear and tear on a box, as it adds authenticity. If a game looks mint, there's a greater chance of it being fake. What do you think about this? Would you risk buying a mint game that may be fake, or would you go for a slightly damaged box that looks more genuine? More so now, I do tend to look for a bit of wear, whether it be a crease or a little bit of edge wear, or something that gives it, as you say, authenticity. Because there is unfortunately there are a lot of fake boxes flying around, so it does make you step back and think, I really shouldn't buy mint. Same with sealed games. Obviously you've always had the thing that whether they're really sealed games or they're just resealed, but I think Super Nintendo for the most part, I haven't found anyone that can actually replicate a Super Nintendo box accurately. You can always tell from a photograph and the texture of the box and just the general look of it in the print, you can tell they ain't real. So that's a good thing. But I'm sure at some point that in future someone's going to come up with a way of making them absolutely indistinguishable from the original, which is a bit worrying. So yeah, nowadays I would rather have a little bit of wear, maybe get like an 8 out of 10 or even a 7, 7.5 out of 10. As long as it's not completely knackered, I don't mind. Yeah, I think that's a really good point, that is. Number 2, if you could travel back in time, what would you take from the present to show your younger self? What piece of technology would blow his mind? Probably the mobile phone. It's probably a standard thing, but that is pretty amazing and something that we take for granted, especially the smartphone. If you imagine taking that back to your younger self in the 80s and you show this little tiny device that's hooked up to this thing called the internet, and you can just gain access to any information about absolutely any subject, any time of the day. Absolutely amazing. You can communicate with people around the world 24/7 using Twitter instantly. I mean, that is just, it still to this day blows my mind that we can do that. That I can literally, like, I can talk to Josh in Australia on the other side of the planet, and that's just, it's like, it just doesn't make sense. It's phenomenal. So yeah, I think that would be the one. Online shopping and everything, you could never have imagined this back in the 80s, that this is where it would end up. It's just amazing. It really is. Question number 3. If you could travel to any period in time to either visit or live with, which would you go for? For me personally, it would be 60s, but I'd want to get on a plane and go to America, because the 60s were a fascinating time with the Cold War, obviously what happened with JFK, civil rights. I'm absolutely fascinated by all of that, so that would be ideal for me. I think it's probably time travel, because I assume with time travel anyway, that when you go back in time, you stay where you are. So if I go back in time now, I'd still be in England. So I don't know how the hell I'd get a plane to America in the 60s, because it probably cost a bloody fortune, and I wouldn't be able to earn enough money fast enough. I mean, I can always take money back with me, but I don't know if it would be valid, because the notes would have changed. Yeah, I'm not sure. But that's what I would like to do. That'd be awesome. In terms of living there, I don't know of any period of time in the past that I would want to live, other than probably the 90s, because the 90s were awesome. It was a lot more 80s and 90s were a lot more chilled out, an easier way of life. We didn't have the internet, which is a bit of a shame, but it was better in a way, because we were cut off and you did spend more time with your friends. People went out and socialised more. They weren't just glued to their phones and their tablets. They weren't just staying indoors and talking to people online. So yeah, that's what I'd do. Okay. Question number 4. Would you travel to the future to see what's in store for you, or is it better to not know? I'd say it's better to not know. I'd rather wait and see. It's not so much knowing what your future is in terms of the next few years. Obviously, if you found out you're dead, that would suck. I do not want to know when I die. I want it to just happen when it happens. So yeah, I would probably say better to not know, just see what happens. I'm kind of like that anyway. I just like, take every day as it comes. Okay. Number 5. We both like a space conspiracy theory, but which of NASA's unexplained files do you think is the biggest cover-up? Black triangles, life on Europa, or solar flares? I haven't got that far into them yet, so I don't know about some of those. The black triangle thing, I think, is bullshit. Yeah, a lot of the stuff with space, most of the time, whether it be UFOs or whatever, it can, I sound like an Essex, whatever, it can be explained away whether it be astral phenomenon, just camera issues, or it's military aircraft, or it's just a standard aircraft, or it's a balloon or something. There's always some kind of explanation for most of it. There's always that like 5% that just don't make sense. And as technology has progressed, from the one episode I saw, over the years they got better cameras and they got high definition, blew the image up, realised it actually was nothing major at all. I think it was like part of space debris or something. So yeah, I do find it fascinating, all the alien stuff and the space, but yeah, I think most of them can be explained quite easily. Like most conspiracy theories are pretty straightforward to debunk. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think there's any that are really covered up. I mean, I find it fascinating that you get astronauts able to speak about these things these days. I find that mind blowing. The only cover up really is Buzz Aldrin, because as far as I'm aware, I've read in the past, he is supposed to have said when he came back from the moon that aliens approached them, that an alien ship came up the side of the moon, which sounds absolutely ludicrous to me, but apparently that's what he said, and then he went quiet and doesn't talk about it anymore, and everybody obviously assumes that Men in Black shot him down. That could be absolute bullshit, but hopefully, before he dies, because he hasn't got long left, I don't think, he's getting quite old now, if it is true, he'll just talk about it before he dies. That's generally what happens, like Roswell. As people die off, they don't care because they're dying, so it's irrelevant. No one can get them, so they just talk about what their experiences were. The problem is that the memory messes with you as well. Your memory's crap. Yeah, you try and remember what you did last year, and you won't remember it accurately. Your brain will fill in the gaps, so it is difficult to get an accurate recollection. All right, okay. So last question. You have to watch either Terry or Geordie Shore. Thanks, Julian. Or give me your copy of Final Fight 2. Which would you go for? Oh, Jesus Christ. I don't know. I mean, Terry, I just want to slap them because they're just so irritating. And Geordie Shore, they're just nasty. They're just really, really skanky. I don't know which one I could watch at. I'd probably have to pick Terry because it's probably the lesser of two evils. Because I don't want to give up Final Fight 2. But yeah, it would be hard. I don't know, like, Jesus, I couldn't watch that crap. Yeah, but I'd probably go with Terry then. For anybody outside of England, by the way, that's the only way is Essex, I just thought, yeah. Right, let's go, we got any more questions? Just bear with. I could have sworn that I've been put questions on there, but I can't find them. Alright, we've got a question from Shocks anyway. Shock16 Adam. Meat pies are great, aren't they? Damn right. What goes into the perfect pie for you? I love a chicken and mushroom. You can't beat a chicken and mushroom pie. Always good. And I love a steak and kidney. Or just a straight up steak pie. But I absolutely love steak and ale. Steak and ale pie is fantastic. If it's done right, especially like in a pub. Oh man, you can't beat that at all. Nice bit of gravy over the top, veggies, Yorkshire pud, quality stuff. I could have sworn I would put some questions on here. No, well, I thought, yeah, I could have sworn, I must be wrong. That's a shame, I thought I could have sworn he put some on here. Right, okay, well that seems to be the last question. So, there you go guys, that's another episode done. So thank you very much for watching, I hope you've enjoyed this video. As always, if you did, just give it a thumbs up, that'd be really helpful. And of course, if you want to see more videos, just click on subscribe, that'll keep you up to date with all my vids. And yeah, thanks guys, I really enjoyed that. It's a really good set of questions. If you've got any questions for me, just pop them in the comments below. Each week I post a new response, so any questions this week will be responded to next Friday. Thanks for watching guys, see you all again soon.